Well, this is an unusual occurrence. Don't usually get a snow this early in the year. A lot of times, well, let me put it this way, in my whole life I only remember having a white Christmas. It was a dusting of about this much snow one year. It's usually in the 50s or something. Maybe it could be in the 60s. But this is unusual. But it's fine. I like this kind of snow. It don't come to stay, it just comes to pass. Like it says in the Bible. Hey guys, having a little bit of snow outside. It's unusual for us to get snow this early in the season. We usually don't get a snow till up in January or something. And I got a little bit of a cold. It's not a bad one, but makes me sound a little different. Anyway, last week we were talking about worship, and are there any types of worship, or is it possible to worship Him in a way that He does not like? Yes, I think it's pretty obvious that there are things you should not do in worshiping God. Obviously, something that is a sin, an obvious sin, you should not do. But there are things that are not sin, maybe, that God does not like also. And I found several examples, but they were all in the Old Testament. I'm still kind of looking through the New Testament, see if I can find anything. This week we have a couple of kings who wanted to offer a burnt offering to God in worship of Him. And they had consequences for that, because it was up to the priests to do that. So let's read about it. Let's see if we can find where those are. First one we were going to look at is King Uzziah, who did what was right before the Lord, it says. He tried to follow the Lord and obey Him, and the Lord blessed him. But then, this is in 2 Chronicles, and I'm going to skip down to verse 16. But when he was strong, the Lord had made him strong, and when he was strong, his heart was lifted up to his destruction, for he transgressed against the Lord his God, and went into the temple of the Lord to burn incense upon the altar of incense. And Azariah the priest went in after him, and with him 80 priests of the Lord that were valiant men, some real tough guys. And they withstood Uzziah the king, and said unto him, It appertaineth not unto thee, Uzziah, to burn incense unto the Lord, but to the priests, the sons of Aaron, that are consecrated to burn incense. Go out of the sanctuary, for thou hast trespassed. Neither shall it be for thine honor from the Lord. Then Uzziah was wroth, he was very mad, and had a censer in his hand to burn incense. And while he was wroth with the priests, the leprosy even rose up in his forehead before the priests in the house of the Lord, from beside the incense altar. And Azariah the chief priest and all the priests looked upon him, and behold, he was leprous in his forehead. And they thrust him out from thence. Yea, himself hasted also to get out, because the Lord had smitten him. And Uzziah the king was a leper unto the day of his death, and dwelt in a several house, being a leper. For he was cut off from the house of the Lord, and Jotham his son was over the king's house, judging the people of the land. So we see this King Uzziah, he was doing the Lord's will, and the Lord was blessing him, made him very strong. over the years of his reign. And I don't know, he wanted to go and offer a burnt offering of incense or whatever himself instead of going to proper channels through the priests. And God didn't like that, and he struck him down with leprosy right there immediately. The priests that went in to stop him saw the leprosy start to grow on him, and he had to live apart from everybody because he was a leper the rest of his days, and his son took over reigning. There was a similar thing with King Saul. King Saul was waiting for Samuel the priest to come and offer a burnt offering sacrifice before a big battle, and he was late showing up, so Saul decided he would do it himself, which was wrong. Of course, when he was finishing up, Samuel the priest showed up and told him, "You shouldn't have done this. Your kingdom would have been established forever, but since you transgressed in this way, the kingdom is taken away from you." And that's when it was given to King David. So we can see there are ways that you can worship God that he does not like. Again, that was in the Old Testament. I haven't searched enough to find any in the New Testament. I don't know that it really talks about anything like that in the New Testament. But I believe God sets forth principles and things of what pleases him. And I would think even he's not going to give you leprosy or kill you. But if it's something that would cause him displeasure, I don't like to think that I would do it. But let's look at some of the ways that the Bible instructs us as to what worship is. Let's look at that. And again, this is from Psalms. It's in the Old Testament. It does talk some about how the church should be set up in the New Testament. Mostly dry, just instructions about who should be in charge. Bishops should be. It describes what a bishop should be: a husband of one wife, beyond reproach, and that kind of thing. But let's look at Psalms, see what God does like in worship. We're going to look at Psalm 95 right here. Just give a short little example. Come, let us sing unto the Lord. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before his presence with thanksgiving, and make a joyful noise unto him with psalms. For the Lord is a great God, and a great King above all gods. In his hand are the deep places of the earth. The strength of the hills is his also. The sea is his, and he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. O come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, and the sheep of his hand. Today, if you will hear his voice. And in Psalm 96, we'll just read some excerpts of that too. O sing unto the Lord a new song. Sing unto the Lord all the earth. Sing unto the Lord, bless his name. Show forth his salvation from day to day. Declare his glory among the heathen, his wonders among all people. For the Lord is great, and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. That just gives a little synopsis or example of what kind of worship God does like. He enjoys our singing. He wants to feel our joy in knowing him by our songs, and he wants reverence from us, bowing down, and humble, being humble, not being proud and lifted up and all puffed up. It's just not right. There is an example in the New Testament, that's right, of Jesus himself gave about, I guess it was a publican praying. No, excuse me. Well, one of them was a publican praying. The other one, I'll have to look it up. I don't know if he was a Pharisee or whatever. He was praying in the temple. Lord, I thank you so much that I'm, and they listed all the good things he did, and that I'm not like this publican over here who's a terrible sinner, who's done all kinds of wicked things. But the publican, he went over and bowed his head and said, Lord, I don't deserve to have you hear me. I'm a wicked sinner. Please, forgive me. Thank you for all you've done for me. And it was very, I'm paraphrasing terribly, but just to give you the idea. And Jesus said, truly I tell you that publican went away justified, whereas the other man, he got no forgiveness or mercy from God, being puffed up like that. So anyhow, it's not a great one today. I'm working on getting rid of a cold, and it's affecting my speaking and my thinking. So anyway, I'll leave it at that until next time. At least I'll have something up Wednesday, if not before. Get you guys later. Enjoy your Sunday. Bye.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe something special. They can jump on later. Yeah, he said he's going to get one.
We want to throw a hot dog on that crate.
Just so yes. Oh, did David say?